Hey guys! Welcome back to Let's Play Xenogears! Last time, we found a new doctor in Norton's D-Block, and found out that it was Satan, who then tried to remove my exploding collar, and took the safety pin out, which we then sold to Hammer for 4,000 G. This time, after one of those sequences, we got jumped straight to here, and I didn't have time to finish up, so let's go and figure out what the hell is going on here. What in the world is this thing? The untouchable one. I was kind of hinting at things getting a little more confusing last time. It's more confusing now. 3 years since you heard any news of what? Now, here is a cool little feature. This has been put into a couple of different games. Very rarely are save points part of the plot of the game. In this case, the memory cubes actually seem to be a thing that records information for people. It is also done in a similar way in Chrono Cross with the Record of Fate, and that ties into one of the plot lines of that game. It's very rare to see anyone do that. But yeah, it's a cool idea. So according to the memory cube, now it would be funny, of course, if they were, say, referring to our characters and we hadn't saved yet, so then they would have had no reason to do this, but apparently he, in quotation marks, is currently in Nortune in the Imperial capital. This one just repeats that over and over again. If you notice the little spinning ball, there's the blue one, the red one, and then I think this is like the pale green one or the black one. I don't know. The lambs would not have been turned into animus. Now, we have animus and the anima relics, which will be mentioned momentarily. Now, apparently there's these... I'll get into that in a moment here. 500 years ago, we had the... since our fall... What, you guys lost something? In the days of destruction that he caused. Okay. What are you guys talking about? So yeah, here we have these anima relics. Now, animus and anima are male and female. I think anima is female and animus is male. At this point in time, we really don't know what they're talking about. But for the most part, you can ignore a lot of the stuff that they say with anima and animus, because although it does have a bunch of meaning, which I will, when we get to a point where it actually means something, I'll go over it in a little more detail. At this point, it really doesn't mean jack squat, and it doesn't change our understanding of the plot, whether we know anything about it or not. So for the most part, it actually makes it a little easier to understand what's going on if you just ignore that you've even seen it. You'll shape the future. Okay. The gatekeeper was activated. Now, this idea of the gatekeeper is confusing because it's never explained, and I think... have we seen that? I'm pretty sure we've seen that. Yes, we have seen that. So, there was the female in armor that asked the Kaiser to bring Faye and Weltall into D-Block or whatever, right? So, with that, she also brought what is known as the gatekeeper, I believe. Now, the gatekeeper was what she was saying when it was a way of them getting to there, I think. And that's basically all it is. I'm not exactly sure what goes on with it. It's kind of confusing. It really doesn't... It does matter, and it's not explained very well, and it's hard to understand with the information that's there, and I can't really talk about it in too much great detail without spoiling plots. So basically, the gatekeeper is important. We don't know what it does. Good enough. And it is now in Kislev. So So we're saying that we mustn't break Ignis's, the continent's, equilibrium. So right now, Kislev and Ave are at war, and we have to kind of keep that even so that no one's winning and no one's losing too much. Who are these people? Like, what are they? Like, it's like a big computer screen, or, well, a big computer sphere, I guess. Is it a Borg sphere? Are we going to see the Borg Queen pop out all of a sudden and start assimilating everybody? Even Kane wouldn't object. Well, have we met Kane yet? I'm not sure if we've met Kane yet. I'm not sure if Kane's been named yet. They've mentioned Abel before, and of course, you know, the story of Cain and Abel, the two brothers, one killed the other, and the other was the good son, whatever. Anyway, here we have, but we can't use the geisha key, not until the proper time comes. The geisha key does something that would be a plot spoiler, so we won't talk about it. Again, this is one of the reasons why the game gets so confusing, because even if you know what's going on, you know, it's hard to talk about it without knowing what happens later. So on a second and a third playthrough, the game makes a hell of a lot more sense and actually kind of flows better. It's like, oh, that makes sense, over and over and over again. And eventually, you know, you get a basic idea of what exactly is going on, at least on the surface. Trying to understand all of the nuances and the illusions this game makes is very difficult. Like, I know some, nowhere near all, but I definitely wanted to give you guys a good kind of explanation or idea of what was going on to some extent. Obviously, I'm not going super far. I've seen people write papers on this for, you know, at the university level. You can write a paper. You could take courses, plural courses, on this game. Half-Life. 1,000 years. You're gonna do what? Who are you guys? You're going to destroy everyone so that one person dies? Again, with the indefinite pronouns. If it is a direct hit, your orders are given. I don't know who they're ordering, or if they're ordering each other, or what the deal is, or why we saw that scene. But we did, and it's confusing. So, if we go over here, there's nobody there. Okay. Let's head upstairs. Now, the idea was... Okay, so we're going to have a scene to explain what we're doing next. Okay, good. So, we're signed up and ready to go. Yeah. Oh, well, that's good. Nice. Is there something strange behind the scenes? Now, they do this with Hammer more than once, where he seems to be hiding something, and they don't tell me what. And I really don't ever remember finding out what he's hiding most of the time when he's hiding things. So, yeah. Nothing to be suspect of. Okay, then. Nothing at all. Outskirts of D Block, huh? Hold on a second. Now, I can't remember if he actually said this on screen or not, but if you go down there later on, you'll see that Satan will tell you this. Something that I'm curious about. I still join you in going to the battle arena. And then we'll split up after that. Whatever. Let's get going. And we have Satan back in the party. Thank you. Now I can finally equip people. So yeah, the one that we had before was the metal vest. Yeah, that one's not very good. The metal jacket, on the other hand, is even better than the iron mail, which we barely got a chance to use. But let's equip our metal gear now. This is why I wanted the power rings on Satan and Faye there. Or, well, one free. I didn't want one on Bart, because I would never be able to use it. That's why I removed it from him there. So let's give you a metal jacket and you a metal helmet there. That'll up our defense quite a bit. That's nice. Check out our death blows here. Yeah, we need to do some work to get the newer ones. Most of them are available at certain levels. After a while, I'll probably max out the experience on a lot of them before I even get to that kind of a point. So, but anyway, just kind of so you know. Let's see here. I think that's pretty much all we got for there. Now we get into one of the mini games I hate more than anything else. Let's go talk to you. Huh? Heard from the Imperial Committee. Awesome. No use trying to escape. Yeah, I really don't want to. Stay away from off-limit areas. Sure thing. Considering we don't have an option, we head out here, we get the Northern world map, and there's a guard here, and a guard here. We only have two options, and we came from one of them. So let's head to Block C. And we get battle themes! Ah, there we are. Somebody looks familiar. And somebody looks even more familiar. Apparently I get some politeness out of her. That's okay, sure. I don't really understand how she's trying to appeal to him in that way. I don't. Oh well. True enough. It gets in the way so much. Amusing. Yeah, isn't that kind of how it goes? You know, if you're not going for victory, what are you trying to do, right? You're looking forward to what? Now it looks like she's hiding something. I don't know what all of these people are hiding from me. No, obviously not. We fight in gears, which is what they've said umpteen times. The gear I'm going to pilot will be... walk this way. Can you spare us a little time? I don't know why Satan asks for some time here, but he does, and now we can move around again. I don't know why this area looks so much like the B Info Center. But yeah, Hammer is here as well. If you talk to him, took the liberty to set up shop here for a while. Not waste any time. Care to make a purchase? Here he will deal in gear parts. Yeah, can I actually go to that shop or not? Suppose I have to. Now, your gear on your mech actually doesn't matter. Won't make it for the first bounce. Oh. Okay, I guess we'll talk to you. I don't know why they even give us that option, because it really doesn't matter. They should just let you go straight through, because you can't make any changes. Yeah, that's kind of it. I don't get it. Apparently this is our party now. Wonder if Hammer joins our party here. Wonder if he has a portrait in there. And weird panning shot. The black here. Wait a minute. They didn't. We heard that it had been shipped to Kislev as well, but there's no possible... Yes, there is. Yes, we get Weltall for some reason. Well, actually, this goes back to what that female soldier, or the armored chick told the Kaiser there. You know, transport them both here. And I'm assuming she also set up this kind of a situation as well. She is the reason why we have access to Weltall. I'm sure this is actually a surprise to you, Satan, though what's more surprising is the fact that you didn't know this ahead of time. You seem to know everything else. Yeah, it would be a very, very rare situation that that we would show up here and get given this gear at random. Oh, what kind of data? What kind of a plan? Oh. Yeah, as I was saying before, when they win, of course, they get out and they get to go into the military, which of course helps out the country as they get better soldiers into the military. That would make sense. It is good for us. You'll be able to get in the gear you're most familiar with, and you should do better than you would otherwise. Especially if they gave you some random shitty gear. Anyway, we have Learn Controls Tutorial Mode or Practice Mode. I'm going to go over the tutorial and the controls in Practice Mode. And if you go to Practice Mode, we basically find out that this is a 3D kind of thing. Now, one thing that is really weird is this game does not use the analog stick. It was made before we really used them. However, the way I've bound all my controls, I can't use the analog stick for my characters, but for some reason it works here, and I don't know why. But anyway, so if you want to know controls, you got square, you've got X, and if you keep tapping the buttons, you get a combo. Yeah, so you get a roundhouse kick and an uppercut with the X button there. Triangle is jump. If you go forward and then hit back abruptly, you'll jump back, as long as it's kind of straight forward, straight back kind of deal. If you use the circle button, you hold it down, you can run super fast like this. If you use R1, you shoot an ether bullet. L1, you guard. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is. So, now that we have that all set up, if you hit the start button, you'll see that in practice mode, the AI is set to bystander, and there are a whole bunch of these things. So let's just throw it on normal mode to kind of show this up. You can change the frame rate, but it doesn't go above 30 frames per second, so it doesn't matter. And so let's go back to practice mode, and we'll just kind of show off a little battle. kind of have an idea of how this works. Yeah, basically, that's the idea. Try and dodge, use block, stuff like that. Anyway, what do you... No, I did not mean to do that. Damn it. Fast forward. End explanation. Stop that. I want to begin the battle. Would you stop giving me 18 options to not battle and just let me battle? Now, the one thing that they didn't show ahead of time is there is a heat meter on the side there, and you actually build up heat by doing things, such as spamming ether bullets. Now, one thing is if you're... of course, I'm not near it. Where's that water at? Yeah. Lots of artifacts. I'm standing where I probably shouldn't. There we go. Now, if you're in the water, as you can see, your heat dissipates a lot faster. Oddly enough, unless he's in there with me, it seems to dissipate just as fast for him, even if he's not in the water, if I'm in the water. I don't know where he is. There he is. Now, this battle is set up as it is. And as soon as you take off a little over half of his HP, you find out that it is Leonard. I don't think this is Leonardo, but it might be. Anyway, playtime is over. Let's get serious. And in doing so, we start to smoke. Smoking's bad. Actually, no. The gear catches fire and we kind of lose. Let me guess. Yep. We wake up back in bed. Again. And we get that creepy music again. That was weird. Why are we switching to this random scene? Oh, there's Leonardo. Yep. Oh, so they did it without his permission. Okay. The rats are restless, huh? Let's take that one. I don't know which one they're talking about, but oh well. Kind of a weird couple of characters to follow, since we don't know anything about them. Oh, look at that. Mode 7. What? That sounded like a scream, almost. What is this? Are we seeing through somebody's eyes? A monster? Oh boy. Yeah. Was that your dream? Is that what that was? I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of hard to forget that one. Of course you did. That's pretty much your... That's like your catchphrase. You lost consciousness. You lost your memory. Over and over again. Anyway, apparently Weltall was able to kind of help because of how well of a gear it's made, and probably because of one of those black boxes, so that they can have it help him without actually having to explain it. How many days have passed? How many days have I been out for this time? Oh, only one. At least I wasn't out for another week. Only one day, huh? What is the matter? Oh. That's weird. I had an awful dream that I can't remember, but I know it's awful. Because... why? I don't know. Don't worry about it. Makes sense. This is true. We do have to get out of here. Got to try and get out of here as soon as possible. A little more rest. I kind of fell asleep talking there. Anyway, with that being said, we now have access to go do some more battling. It's pretty much all there is right now. I will, like, in each of the upcoming battles, you have to win 2 out of 3, I think, in order to win. And there's the phone. And so I'm only going to show off like 1 fight for each opponent because they're all basically the same. Okay, so like I was saying there are 2 fights per round. I'll show off 1 of each because watching it again is like repeating it over and over again. I'll just show you because you get a kind of a prize after each one, so I'll show you that. And we'll talk to Hammer, who now has gear parts to sell, now that of course we know which gear we're using. And of course, even though the Welthal was basically blown up last time, it's basically fine. So, that's going to do it for this episode of Let's Play Xenogears. Next time we will upgrade our gear and do a whole bunch of them battles, and that's pretty much it. So that's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.